Welcome to Nisab Finance. Most Muslims do not struggle with the idea of investing. We struggle with what is baked into so many investments, interest, speculation, and businesses we know we should avoid. So the real question is not, should I invest? It is, how do I invest without compromising my faith? If you have ever wondered whether the stock market is even halal, you are not alone. The good news is this: halal investing is not a loophole. It is a discipline. You screen what you own, you avoid what is clearly harmful, and you purify what you cannot fully control. Today, we are going to build your first Sharia-compliant investing plan, step by step, with no jargon and no guilt trips. Let us start with the foundation. Islamic investing begins with the why. Wealth in Islam is not meant to be chased at any cost. It is meant to be earned responsibly, used wisely, and tied to real economic activity. That means we draw clear lines around three things: Riba, Gharar, and Maisir. Riba is interest. It is any guaranteed gain from lending money in a way that creates unfair advantage. Gharar is excessive uncertainty. It shows up when the deal is so vague or so unstable that the risk becomes unreasonable. Maisir is gambling. It means seeking profit through pure chance, thrill, or zero-sum speculation instead of productive value. Then there are the industries themselves. Alcohol, gambling, pornography, conventional interest-based finance, and other clearly harmful sectors are not where a Muslim investor should place their money. That sounds simple, but here is where beginners get stuck. A company can sell a perfectly halal product and still fail the screen because its financing is not clean. That is why Sharia screening is about both the business and the balance sheet. And that brings us to the practical part. Most Sharia-compliant stock investing uses two gates. First, a business activities screen. Ask, what does this company actually do? If the core business is haram, the answer is easy: walk away. Second, a financial screen. Ask, how much does the company rely on interest-based debt? How much interest income does it earn? Different credible standards use slightly different numbers, but the pattern is the same. The business must stay away from haram activity, and the financials must stay within acceptable limits. A beginner-friendly way to think about it is this: some small, incidental, non-permissible income may be tolerated and then purified, but when interest-based debt is too heavy, the company fails the test. In many screening frameworks, that means ratios somewhere around 1/3 or less for debt and related balance sheet measures, with small tolerance for unavoidable non-permissible income. The exact benchmark can vary, so the key is to choose one credible standard and stay consistent. Do not cherry-pick the loosest answer. Here is the simple checklist you can use every time. First, what does the company do? If the core business is haram, stop there. Second, does the screening standard say the company passes the financial ratios? Look at debt, cash, and interest-based exposure. Third, if there is any tolerated non-permissible income, what is the purification amount, and where will you donate it? That last step matters. Purification is how a Muslim investor handles the small amount that may slip through in a modern financial system. You do not keep it. You remove it from your benefit and give it to charity in principle. This is important because screening is not a one-time label. It is a living process. Companies change, debt changes, income changes. A stock that was acceptable last quarter may not be acceptable later. That is why Sharia screens are reviewed regularly, not just once and forgotten. So now that you know what to avoid, let us talk about how to start without feeling overwhelmed. The best first plan is simple. Think in 3 lanes. Lane 1, protect the basics. Before investing, make sure your budget makes sense. Build an emergency fund and do your best to avoid high-interest debt. There is no peace in trying to grow wealth on a foundation that is leaking. Lane 2. Invest consistently. Do not wait until you become an expert stock picker. For most beginners, the wisest move is to automate a small monthly amount into a diversified Sharia-screened fund or ETF. Consistency matters more than perfection. A modest amount, invested regularly, can teach you the habit without putting you under pressure. Lane 3. Keep it halal over time. Recheck the screening of what you own. Review the fund's methodology. If dividends include a small, non-permissible portion, purify it. Stay aware. Stay intentional. Halal investing is not just about entering cleanly. It is about staying clean as your portfolio grows. Now, a quick word about expectations. Sharia screens will change the shape of your portfolio. You will likely see less exposure to financials and more exposure to sectors like technology and healthcare. That is normal. In fact, it is a reminder that faith-based investing is not just a moral filter. It is a different way of participating in the market. And yes, different standards can give different answers on the same stock. That does not mean the process is broken. It means you need to use one trusted methodology and avoid comparing your result to someone else's looser screen just to feel better. The goal is not to win a debate. The goal is to invest responsibly before Allah. So if you are staring at a screen right now and thinking, where do I begin? Start here. Write down your goal. Maybe it is building long-term wealth for your family. Maybe it is saving for a home. Maybe it is preparing for retirement. A clear goal gives your investing a direction. Then choose your rules. No Riba. No haram industries. No gambling-style speculation. Use a trusted Sharia screen. Purify where needed. Then choose your rhythm. Monthly investing is enough to begin. Small is fine. Simple is fine. Starting is what matters. And remember this, the point of Sharia-compliant investing is not to make you anxious. It is to give you confidence. Confidence that your wealth building can remain tied to what is lawful, beneficial, and disciplined. You do not need to know everything today. You only need a faithful first step. So here is the recap. Avoid Riba, Gharar, Maisir, and haram industries. Screen the business and the financials. Purify any tolerated non-permissible income. Protect your basics. Invest consistently. Keep reviewing over time. That is the path. And if you've been waiting for a sign to begin, this is it. You do not have to choose between financial growth and religious integrity. With the right process, you can pursue both. This is Nisab Finance. If you want a simple halal investing checklist and more beginner guides like this, subscribe to Nisab Finance.